Welcome to an overview of the National Institute of Food and Agriculture's Postdoctoral Fellowships program for fiscal year 2023. I am Ray Alley, the National Program Leader, and I am also joined by Dr. Erica Kraus, Program Specialist. You will see on this slide the email address with regards to questions pertaining to this program. The application deadline for the fiscal year 2023 cycle is Thursday, September 7th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Listed on this slide are essential documents pertaining to the Postdoctoral Fellowships program. First is the request for application, which contains the Postdoctoral Fellowships program. Next is the Part 4C, additional information document containing the content and form of the application, as well as additional detailed guidance. The review criteria for the fellowships program can be found at this hyperlink, and the NIFAgrants.gov application guide can be found here. Over the course of the next few slides, we'll provide an overview of the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, as well as the Education and Workforce Development requests for applications. The National Institute of Food and Agriculture, or NIFA, is the extramural science funding agency within the USDA's Research, Education, and Economics mission area. NIFA invests in and supports initiatives that ensure the long-term viability of agriculture, and also provides funding and strategic leadership for programs that ensure discoveries in agriculture-related sciences. The Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, or AFRI, has 6 priority areas which are listed here. They include plant health and production, food safety, nutrition and health, agriculture systems and technology, among others. AFRI has 3 requests for applications: the Foundational and Applied Sciences RFA, the Sustainable Agriculture Systems RFA, and the Education and Workforce Development RFA. All 3 of these RFAs address the aforementioned 6 priority areas. The Education and Workforce Development, or EWD RFA, has 4 major themes: growing agricultural literacy and workforce development, training of agricultural workers, developing pathways, and advancing science. The postdoctoral fellowships fall within the advancing science theme. Again, all applications, even within the EWD RFA, must address at least one of the 6 AFRI priority areas. The purpose of the Postdoctoral Fellowships program is to develop new scientists and professionals to enter research, education, and/or extension fields within the food and agricultural sciences, and to also cultivate future leaders capable of solving agricultural challenges of the 21st century. With respect to eligibility of postdoctoral fellowship applicants, all doctoral degree requirements must be satisfied by no earlier than January 1st of 2020 and no later than June 7th of 2024. Either the graduate advisor, the graduate committee, or the institution must provide documentation by the application deadline, and the postdoctoral scholar must be a citizen, national, or permanent resident of the United States. As it pertains to expectations, there is a 100% effort contingency with respect to postdoctoral fellows who are required to carry out their projects on a full-time basis. The postdoctoral scholar must be the sole project director on the application. In addition, the selection of disciplines to address is to be determined by the prospective postdoctoral applicant. Although a proposed project may fit within the context of the mentor scientific area, the expectation is that the postdoctoral fellowship should initiate an independent scientific program rather than serving as an extension of mentors' ongoing projects. The project scope should also be within the time frame of the fellowship. The postdoctoral applicant will be able to select one project type, either research or education or extension, or an integrated project type that combines one of the aforementioned three. With respect to the budget, the total amount able to be requested is $225,000 for a period of up to 24 months. Funds must be requested primarily for salary or stipend. Other expenditures may not exceed $60,000 per year, and there is up to a $3,000 per year institutional allowance, which is provided in lieu of indirect costs. Explicit instructions are provided in Part 4C of the RFA. This contains information pertaining to the project summary, narrative, data management plan, and others, the completion of the standard Form 424, the completion of research and related forms. Of note, postdoctoral proposals must indicate program code A7201 in the SF424. Do not use a foundational and applied science or FAS program code in the SF424, or the application is at risk of not receiving a review. The NIFA grants.gov application guide also provides additional support. However, there is detail provided within the EWD RFA and the Part 4C document with respect to the application proper. The project narrative of postdoctoral fellowship proposals have a maximum of 10 pages with 12-point font and single-line spacing. All components of the project narrative, for example, the response to the previous review, if applicable, the training, career development, mentoring, project, and evaluation plans, will be considered in accordance with the evaluation criteria. Postdoctoral proposals will be reviewed within a respective foundational and applied science program area. Therefore, within the project summary, the postdoctoral applicant should indicate the priority area name, program area name, and program area priority code from the foundational and applied science RFA that most closely matches the proposed postdoctoral project plan. A table of the FAS priority and program areas, along with the priority codes and other information, is in Part 4C of the EWD RFA and can also be found within the AFRI Foundational and Applied Science RFA. Of note, all postdoctoral proposals must follow the EWD guidance, including the EWD Part 4C instructions and due date. Project summary must indicate the names and the institutions of the project director and the primary mentor, or more than one primary mentor if it's an integrated project only, the project type, the primary Farm Bill priority area focus, the relevance of the project to the goals of the fellowship program, as well as to the goals of the AFRI Education and Workforce Development Program. The training or career development plan pertains to a personal statement, overall career goals and objectives, other training objectives, along with any extension and educational activities to enhance career development. Within the mentoring plan, the applicant is expected to identify a primary mentor for support in the application, the professional development, and projects. The commitment of the mentor is included in the evaluation criteria. However, the applicant within the project narrative should describe, detail, explain, etc. the role of the mentor. A mentor letter and reference letters must also be included in the documentation of collaboration. Project plan, which again can be research, education, extension, or an integrated project, must include an introduction, rationale and significance of the project, and the approach, including the methods, outcomes, limitations, and timeline. The evaluation plan indicates progress towards objectives related to the training and career development plan, the mentoring plan, and the project plan. The evaluation plan should include milestones, indicators of success, plans for dissemination, again, recognizing the 4 project types as indicated. The review criteria for the fellowships program consists of the following: the merit of the proposal for science research, education, and/or extension, the qualifications of project personnel, adequacy of facilities and project management, along with project relevance. A competitive program can take at least 6 months from the point of the RFA being released to an award being made to an institution. Given the volume of proposals to our fellowships programs, we appreciate your patience. The USDA's non-discrimination statement is provided on this slide. In accordance with federal civil rights law and U.S. Department of Agriculture civil rights regulations and policies, the USDA, its agencies, offices, and employees, and institutions participating in or administering USDA programs are prohibited from discriminating based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, including gender expression, sexual orientation, disability, age, marital status, family parental status, income derived from a public assistance program, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity in any program or activity conducted or funded by USDA. Not all bases apply to all programs. Remedies and complaint filing deadlines vary by program or incident. The slide also contains contact information for individuals with disabilities to request reasonable accommodations, and language access services will be provided to limited English proficient individuals upon request. Anyone wishing to file a complaint can utilize the phone number, fax number, or postal mailing address listed on this slide. In closing, we would like to thank you for your time. We would encourage you to read thoroughly the EWD RFA, and should you have any further questions, we can be contacted via the NIFA Fellows mailbox. Thank you.